Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here or missed the previous parts, go ahead and check out Part 1 and Part 2. And while you're at it, consider subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up. Alright, let's get started. The prince's aura surged, and Rayon's eyes widened as he identified the unmistakable signature of the parry sword technique, a legendary art unique to the most elite warriors of the Orwan Kingdom. With this, it became evident that the prince was preparing to unleash a decisive, all-out assault. Rayon's hand closed around the hilt of his sword, his mind racing with the intricate patterns and deadly precision of the third prince's signature techniques, etched indelibly in his memory. With that, Rayon unleashed the Thousand Flames technique, first flames surrounded by his splendidly blazing aura. Rayon's overwhelming power surprised the prince. Witnessing the emergence of golden flame aura from a mere trainee, the prince realized Rayon's strength far exceeded his youthful appearance. Nevertheless resolute, the prince reaffirmed his resolve, employing his own technique, unleashing a battle cry as he swung his sword towards Rayon. Equally determined, Rayon's and the prince's swords clashed, illuminating the surroundings with Rayon's golden aura opposing the prince's blue aura. Their swords clashed once more, seemingly establishing an equal footing, until Rayon's leg gave way, catching the prince off guard. As he gained an upper hand with a resolute determination to prevail, Rayon unleashed his powers, shattering the prince's sword into multiple pieces. The prince was astounded, utterly surprised that his aura had been repelled. In a swift motion, Rayon struck, leaving the prince on his knees with the duel victoriously claimed by Rayon Zeghard. Observing his damaged sword, the prince remarked on his advantage in speed and strength, then smiled, pondering whether Rayon had counted with adept footwork in response to his aura. The world truly is vast, mused the prince, extending his hand for a handshake. He expressed gratitude to Rayon, acknowledging the valuable lessons learned from the duel, conceding his defeat. Rayon reciprocated the handshake, offering a smile and admitting his own gained insights. As they shook hands, the prince apologized for underestimating Rayon earlier, attributing it to lack of insight. Curious, the prince inquired about Rayon's age, to which Rayon replied that he had turned 14 that year. The prince sighed, feeling defeated by a swordsman younger in both skill and character. The prince graciously handed Rayon an item, requesting him to keep it. Curious, Rayon inquired about its significance. The prince explained it was a token, a sign that Orwan's third prince Griya de Orwan was willing to extend any favor Rayon might require. Astonished, Rayon questioned why such a valuable gift was offered. The prince, defeated in their duel, admitted Rayon's influence had cleared his mind. Offering a sense of enlightenment, he considered his loss fortunate, believing Rayon to be the ideal victor. As he departed, he expressed certainty in their future reunion, hoping Rayon would still surpass him by then. Finding the challenge of catching up enjoyable, the prince then conversed with Lemur, acknowledging their loss in the bet. Lemur simply replied, "Yep, all right." Addressing Duke Tartan, the prince proposed a return, to which the duke promptly responded, "Ah yes, your highness." Suddenly recalling an urgent task, the prince swiftly departed. Reflecting, Rayon pondered over his past life, where fulfilling missions without payment was the norm, finding the concept of compensation in this life peculiar. Examining the golden pendant from the prince, he marveled at life's surprising twists and turns. Meanwhile, at the Patriarch Mention's place, the Patriarch listened attentively as the prince recounted the lessons learned from the duel with Rayon. Admitting his initial belief in superiority, the prince credited Rayon for prompting reflection and learning, describing him as a remarkable mature swordsman. Despite his youth, astounded, the Patriarch acknowledged the prince's revelation. The prince expressed his intent to return promptly, eager to physically train and match the mental growth experience through Rayon. "Bro is glazing hard right now." The Patriarch then nodded in agreement and requested him to convey gratitude to the king for the letter. The prince replied, "Certainly, thank you." As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with stunning hues, the prince and his companion rode their horses homeward, bound for their kingdom. "Your highness, the duke hesitated. Meeting the prince's gaze, he inquired if there was something on his mind. The duke expressed his concern about the prince revealing his hidden powers and employing the Perez sword technique in the duel with Rayon, deeming it a tad excessive. Stressing the importance of concealing his abilities, the prince chuckled in agreement, acknowledging that he might have gone a bit too far. He defended presenting Rayon with the plaque, highlighting Rayon Zeghard's goodwill despite being underestimated, which warranted an appropriate response. Additionally, Rayon shared a technique that could be a secret, the prince argued. That's true, but the duke began only to be interrupted by the prince, who asserted that the plaque was an investment. Perplexed, the duke sought clarification. The prince elucidated, foreseeing Rayon's exceptional skills and mental prowess at his young age, foreseeing a promising future despite his indirect lineage. He questioned the duke if he didn't believe it would be advantageous to establish a connection with someone like Rayon. Impressed, the duke commended the prince for his farsightedness, to which the prince jokingly remarked that such farsight was expected, having grown up in the royal family, otherwise he might as well perish. The prince's expression remained calm, but his mind was racing. I wonder, he thought to himself, just how much stronger Rayon will become by the time we meet again. Returning to the Patriarch, his butler remarks on the Patriarch's potential pleasure at his grandson's acknowledgement by a prince from another kingdom. The Patriarch, bewildered, inquires about the butler's reference. Noticing the absence of warmth in the Patriarch's demeanor, the butler remarks on the rare sight of his radiant smile. The Patriarch, puzzled, touches his own face, questioning the notion of a smile. The butler, insistent, claims the Patriarch has been beaming ever since the prince mentioned Rayon's name. The Patriarch dismisses the assertion, attributing it to the butler's possible lapse in judgment due to age. Prompted by the butler's concern regarding Duke Tartan's words, the Patriarch remains silent, contemplating his response. In a fleeting flashback, Duke Tartan's words echo, revealing a conversation beyond the prince's letter. The Duke conveys a message from the King of Orwin and Lekros Albertan D. Orwin 11, detailing the resurgence of the five darknesses. Attentively, the Patriarch listens as the Duke informs him about the unsettling movement of these forces once more. And that's the end of chapter 29. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. We'll see you in the next chapter.